Hello and welcome to my video. So in this video, I will be making stackable snowman mugs. And if I sound a little stuffed up in this voiceover, it's because I've been sick. So in this video, I'll be doing stackable snowman Christmas mugs. Basically what that means was my plan was I'm going to make mugs that are able to be stacked, and it's a snowman. So the one mug will be like the belly of the snowman, the other mug would be like the bottom of the snowman, and then the top one would be like maybe the top hat of the snowman. Going into this, I had a plan and a sketch because I actually saw this as a product on the shelf of Kohl's, and they had mugs there, but I wanted to try making one myself because who wants to spend money when I can make it? I also made mine more stylized to me and like what size mugs I would like. So I started here by I put a gauge on my wheel actually by just using a wooden stick. This gauge just told me like I wanted 3 identical shaped mugs that were pretty round bellied, so then I can make them snowmans. And I wanted to make them even, so I made the size a little bit bigger, and I used the gauge to try to keep the same consistent size on each mug. My plan going into this, I did have 3 mugs and then a top hat on top of the 3 mugs, but it made it like really tall. So I decided I was just gonna go with 2 mugs and make a really smaller, but kind of smaller snowman, which you'll see me comparing them later in the sizes of the mugs. But yeah, after I was done throwing all of the mugs, which was like a pretty long throwing session, maybe like an hour, hour and a half maybe. But I threw all of these 3 mugs and the top hat right there, that's the one that's the weird shaped one with a thick bottom. So I trimmed away all the crazy excess clay on the bottom of it, which you'll see me do in a minute. And I had to wrap them all up like that too, like I just showed. That's how I keep them wet and moist, so I can keep them for trimming like the next days when I work on them. So as you can see here, I'm trying to get the bottoms pretty much the exact same. They weren't perfect because it's really hard to wheel throw a piece the exact same like 2 times over, or a second time. It's really hard to get the same consistent piece. As you can see here, I trimmed the hat, but I wasn't happy with the thickness because, as I said, it was really thick. You can't really do much to the bottom of the pieces as you're wheel throwing it because these things were thick. So I went back and trimmed even more, and then I had my mugs. I wrapped them up in plastic again just to keep them moist, but then I had to attach the handles and the details. And as I said before, this is the 3 high snowman, like there's 3 of them. And then I took one away, and I really liked the look of 2 of them instead of 3, just because 3 of them, it looked off, it was too tall. And so as you can see here, I was just assembling it on the wheel, and I made the judgment to destroy the 3rd one. I just smashed the piece pretty messily. It was really thick, so it was hard to destroy. I wish I did make these mugs a little bit thinner. It was just hard because when you make mugs that are bellied out like that, it's hard to bring the top lip of the mug inwards because it normally just collapses. It normally just wants to fold in on itself, and it's really hard to get that circular form, or like I tried to make like a ball once, like a full ball, and it's really challenging actually. So that's a challenge on the wheel, and that's why these mugs were pretty hard to make. And then for the handles, I didn't actually pull the handles. I pulled one, but then I just made a coil for the next 2. I don't really know what to think about that because it made the handles really thin. And it made them like crack a little bit on the handle, like where they connect to the mug, but that might also be because the mug was a little bit dry too. I covered up the cracks later though with just some slip, and it ended up working. But as you can see here, I added some details to all the mugs. I added the buttons to the snowman on the belly, on the bottom one, and I added the eyes, and I added a small little nose. I didn't want the nose to be breakable because then it wasn't gonna crack off. If it was too long, it was just, if it just gets hit inside like the dishwasher, thinking about functionality of the mug, it could just crack right off. So I made them smaller and flush with the mug. And then on the hat, I made a belt buckle. I just carved out the design I wanted for the buckle of the hat, and that took quite a while actually. The buttons and the eyes and the mouth didn't take very long at all, but the buckle took a while, just because I wanted it to be perfect looking, and it wasn't getting even as I wanted it to look. So that took a while to get perfect or right. But then I had to slip and score the mugs and the nose and the buttons. And then I assembled the mug and the snowman, and this is when it started to actually come together. And I wanted this to also be a decorative piece too. I wanted this to look nice if you want to stack them and just keep them in like on a shelf or something for Christmas time. And these are usable, but they're just, you know, also for decorative use. And then here's some of the other mugs on the left there. You can see that I made throughout my semester too. And then this is the snowman all dried out and bisque fired. So it's went through the kiln once, but I have not got to glaze it yet. So yeah, hopefully you'll see that in the future, the glazed result. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.